everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a little update video. So today it's actually my father's birthday. So this weekend I'm gonna go and see my sisters and we're gonna celebrate it in his honor and just kind of, you know, do something special and wish him happy birthday in heaven. And I'm gonna tag you guys along in my little journey, so that will be coming up. Today, even though it's an emotional day, I'm very happy. You know, I've been flooded with memories, and it's a lot of happy memories. So I'm very happy that I'm remembering him and honoring him in a good way. So I might insert some clips at the end of this video. And, you know, because I always feel like connected to him. This is something that Rachel gifted me during Christmas. So I have it by my bed. So every morning I say, "Good morning, Dad." In my phone, he is my, you know, wallpaper, and I feel like I think about him daily. It's just kind of weird how I always feel like he's with me, so that's a good thing. But yeah, happy birthday, Papi. And shortly after he passed, in his honor, I did have a tattoo with my little sister made that says, "I love you, Dad." But anyhow, so this is not a sad video at all. This is a happy video. He lived a full life. He did everything he wanted to do in life. He was crazy. He was exciting. He was just a really good protector of everyone he loved. And there's so much of his life that I carry with me. So I have been thinking that I might begin to do a different type of content. I do feel like there's a journey that I have to walk through, and I would like to tag you guys along. It's very personal. It's very raw, and I can't even film when Rachel and Phil are here. So it's just going to be very personal, and I'll explain in a later video because this is not about that. So because I'm going to go, to South Florida to visit my family this weekend. I'm leaving Friday. Today is Wednesday. Happy hump day. I decided yesterday to do some little gifts, some little planty gifts to my family. So I'm going to show you what I made my mom and my two sisters. So I made them, everything was pretty much things that I already had. And I think that they look so beautiful. And I'm so sorry that you guys get to see the stupid fungus gnats. So interestingly enough, this is the second one. I'm the one who wanted them because I ended up doing, isn't this gorgeous? I ended up doing like a bunch of carnivorous plants, propagations. So I overwater my plants to have gnats because I didn't. And so now I'm just going over what I do to get rid of them. And so in the next week, I'm not going to have any. So that's a good thing. And I'll film about it, how I get rid of fungus gnats, and it works like a charm. And it's something very simple. But anyhow, I made the second one. So the only thing that I had to purchase was the vessel. It was very affordable at Marshall's. I ended up finding them, and I thought that this was really cool. And I already had like the charcoal, the sphagnum. This, I ended up getting it from outside. They grow really, really good in a terrarium setting. and the rest are just cuttings from my plants. So pretty much when I gift something to my family, and I know that this is so backlit, I'm not sure if you get to see how beautiful it looks, but pretty much when I do something like this, I get some things from outside. I get cuttings that I have that I know will do good in a terrarium setting. So the only thing that I had to purchase really was this, and it was really affordable and it looks so pretty. It was something that was gonna be for my home, for my aesthetics, because I love everything. Like you can see, I love wood. But I figure, you know what? This is going to make it very special. It's something that I really, really love. And I'm just like really excited that you guys, you know, get to see what I'm gifting them before they see it. So pretty much when it comes to stuff like this, I just kind of bring it over and I say to them, okay, so just grab the one that you would like, and we keep walking. And they just kind of, you know, get the ones that they think it's different. The difference on this one is that it has this little forgot the name, that it has that one, and it's a good terrarium plant. It only grows really good in my terrarium. So every time I have to do something like that, like a terrarium or whatnot, I take a cutting. I purchased that at Home Depot, that particular plant. But anyway, believe it or not, all this rambling, and I haven't even like mentioned what this video it's about. So this video, it's about the Hoyas that are gonna bloom for me. There's one that it's about to. The other ones have activated peduncles, and I wanted to show you guys because I'm so excited. In my Hoya and plant journey, I have only had, let me see, one, two, three successful blooms out of many Hoyas. I'm telling you, I have a lot of Hoyas. I think I have close to 100, I have between 150 and 160 Hoyas. But because of the plant prices, I purchased many of them as cuttings. So it's gonna be forever before I get those blooms. But today I'm gonna show you 6 of them. 6 that have activated peduncles. I'm really excited. I'm going to monitor those very closely because I don't want to miss it. And I want to see how they smell and how they look and take a lot of photos. So if you guys do not follow me on Instagram, I'm going to do my best to be better. And I'm going to post photos when I do see them bloom. And so if you don't follow me already, please go to Instagram to Plants by Misha, and let's get started. So the first plant, which I have shown you guys before, is my Hoya chicken farm. So I have 2, and this is the way that it looks, but I noticed this and it's so exciting. So it has flowered for me before with this particular peduncle. Let me see if I can get it in frame. There you go. So it's activated at the moment. And then one thing that I noticed that it was so exciting when I grabbed it to come show you guys, it has a baby peduncle. I cannot believe it. Like, so it's gonna bloom in 2 different areas. It grows so wonky, and part of me wants to like chop it and like, you know, so that it's bushier. But the peduncles are on top, and I don't, you know, usually when you do cuttings, many times the peduncles do not make it and they dry out and fall off, and I just don't want to do that. But you can see on this one how, you know, they keep blooming in the same peduncle, and this one has bloomed a lot for me. But yeah, I ended up getting this one about 2 years ago, and it it hasn't disappointed. I know it's not as big as I would like it to be. Those leaves are just freaking gorgeous. What I love about the Hoya chicken farm, I ended up getting one last year. This one's about 2 years old. I want to say one was an import, the other one was from Coco Ranch, and I don't know. As soon as I saw that baby peduncle, I was like in love. So we'll see how it does. My Hoya chicken farm. I love it so much. Okay. Whew. Every time I talk about my plants, I'm just so happy. So the next one, it's my Hoya Multiflora, aka Shooting Star. And this one, you can see, so this is actually the second peduncle. She is in pond. By the way, my chicken farm is the only one that I'm gonna show that it's in soil. They're mostly in leca, and this one it's in homemade pond, and it freaking loves it. But when Hoyas are showing peduncles and they're like activated, water the freaking plant. So this one runs thirsty for me, very thirsty. And it had a peduncle that was about to bloom, and I didn't realize that it was so dry, so flipping dry, and I lost the peduncle. It yellowed and it fell off, and I was so sad. And then I just watered it because I didn't, and I know I have to repot it. The roots are pretty dry because I just water it because it was like dry. So that's why you see some of the leaves are doing the little flop, and they're very, very soft, but it's going to be just fine. And it's just that I have it in my south facing window, and come on, focus. Ugh, it won't focus for me. So I have it in my south facing window, and it just dries up way too fast. Oh, there you go, there you go. So flipping cute. But anyhow, so yeah, my Hoya Multiflora, which I purchased it as a cutting, and I thought it was gonna die on me. The leaves are pretty beautiful. Even though this is like a very basic Hoya, I love it. And honestly, when I first purchased it, it wasn't that I was like wow by it. It was that I knew that it was an easy bloomer, and I want blooms. So yeah, this is I think I've had it for a year, and that's the second peduncle. So I know that it's an easy bloomer, and I can't wait to see when it actually blooms for me. So it'll be beautiful. So my Hoya Multiflora, so 4 more to go. Okay, so this one has never bloomed for me, but I noticed that it has a peduncle. You know what? And it looks like it did flower at some point, and I missed it because the peduncle looks like it was previously triggered. But this is, let me introduce you to it. I get too excited and I get ahead of myself. So this is 2 different types of Hoya Filensonae. I purchased this one back in 2020. Oh, both in 2020. Okay, so this little area in the front, it's one, Filensonae, and then the one in the back, the statement piece, is another one. And I noticed that it has a peduncle that it looks like, 1, it's activated at the moment, and 2, it looks like it has already flowered. So I was just in shock that I freaking missed it, because I don't even know how I did that. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and I think it's because I tend to keep the larger plants in the back, and then obviously the small ones in the front, so that it's a better view when you're displaying your plants. And I honestly feel like that's why I missed it, because it's behind smaller, maybe bushier Hoyas. And so I'm definitely going to keep an eye now because I don't want to miss it. And it seems like I missed it once. And so I'm really bummed. And I thought that because she was close to the chicken farm, I thought the blooms that were here, that they were from the chicken farm because they were all over the place. But no, it was the new flower, and I didn't know, and I missed it. And when I do see blooms, I do love one kind of just taking them in because they're sometimes so hard to bloom. And this one, let me see if I can take it out of here. Seems like that when they're root bound, it's when it happens. Look at the roots. And I don't want to mess with the roots. And I clean this often, but it keeps getting like that. I have a weekly routine where I go and I cut anything that is dry. I remove any leaves that are dry off the plants. I vacuum every other day around the plants, anything I see, because when you struggle with pests, you learn your lesson and you try to keep things cleaner. So that's where I'm at. Every 2 days, or sometimes every day, I vacuum around all of my plants. I look for anything dead. I trim everything dry. And I try not to give the pest, an invitation to come. But that's just a little side note. But yeah, I'm just so excited because not only is she such a statement piece and beautiful, but also because she's, has an active peduncle. And I honestly, as I was grabbing the freaking plants, I was like, why don't I just film in place? Because this is so dangerous to do. I don't want to stress them more. But yeah, I did it. I grabbed them. I took them out. And to the next one. So this one, it's going to be the first time that it blooms for me. And it's my Hoya Fitchy Eye. And I'm so excited. And she feels so light. She does have some water. Look at those roots. Goodness gracious. Let me see. There you go. Yeah. Let me see. So as I was trimming the plants, I noticed this. An active peduncle that I can't stop moving. Let me see. It's not gonna show you. Oh, there it is. So it's an active peduncle. It has never flowered for me before. It has 2 new leaves right here. And this one is such an active grower for me. I keep it in leca. I have always kept it in leca. I have done so many cuttings. They all have been successful. This is a very easy growing plant for me. I keep it in leca and I honestly give it nutrient water every other week. I wash the plant like once a month. So yeah, and the roots are incredible. It's gonna hurt me when I have to repot it, but yeah, I'm just really happy that it gave me this really long peduncle. I didn't know that the peduncles were that long for this particular Hoya, and I'm just so excited and I can't wait to see it. And once it blooms, I'm going to like post it everywhere. And excuse me, I just want to like smell them. Because some people do mention how some Hoyas have this sweet scent, others have like this disgusting smell. So I know that at least for me, oh my gosh. So I know that at least for me, Um, the ones I've had have a sweet scent, and I do love that. So when they are actually in bloom, I do tend to keep them close to my dining room table. And because one, I love seeing them, and two, I love smelling them while they last. And I don't know if you're like that, but I definitely am. So Hoya Fitchy Eye. I'm kind of worried. Let me leave it here. Okay, so 2 more to go. And let me drink some water because I'm so thirsty. Okay, so this one looks so sad. This is probably my ugliest Hoya. So this one's Hoya Parasitica. And as you can see, this leaf has had it like that since the moment that I purchased it. I purchased it as a cutting. It is giving me new leaves and an active peduncle. This is gonna be a first for me. So believe it or not, this plant is been a pain. It, like, Scale loves this Hoya. Right now I'm actually scraping Scale because I treated the plant. And usually when I see Scale, I don't mess around. I take the plant out of everything, the medium. I boil the leca. I grab a little brush, and after I spray the plant, bare rooted, I go ahead and I scrub the heck out of the plant with a little, believe it or not, a little brow brush. I went to, I think it was the dollar store, and they had like a pack of like 10. So I grab one that it's specifically for the plants, and when I have Scale or anything like that, and I go through something like that, I just grab the plant, and that brow brush is soft enough so it's not hurting the plant, it's not scratching the leaves, it's not like, you know, hurting it, but it's doing its work. So that's what I did. So the original leaves of this plant completely died off when the Scale, you know, happened, and a lot of my plants with thick leaves do have Scale. The Scale seems to love, you know, succulent leaves and cacti, you name it. And so sometimes, you know, like during the summer is when I suffer. I mean, I'm sorry. During the winter is when I suffer the most with Scale. For some reason, it's like the Scale finds the plants around that time, at least in my home. And so after that, I did get this new leaves. This is a new one. It's going to give me more. So I'm glad that it's bouncing back, and probably part of that stress of having Scale, it's why it's going to flower for me for the first time. Oh my gosh. There's so much like Scale that it's like dead. It just completely comes off when I scrape it. So thankfully it's not alive, but it was everywhere. The Scale was everywhere. And doing that honestly works like a charm. That day, when I decide to, you know, work on fighting the Scale, that day, that plant spends it with poison in my sink, being scrubbed every other hour. I'm coming up with something. I'm sorry. My throat is so dry. But anyhow, so yeah, my Hoya Parasitica, who has suffered from Scale tremendously, it's, aside from giving me new leaves, that is going to give me new leaves, a peduncle. I haven't seen, like, you know, the flowers on this one. I haven't even Googled them. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it looks. If you have a Hoya Parasitica and it has bloom for you, can you tag me on the photo? I would love to see it. Okay, so that was a big story for that one. Storytelling time. Okay. And last but not least is I have featured this plant before, and I have shown you guys this one in my Instagram, but it's Miss Patricia. Can you see? So she's giving me a brand new leaf, giving me growth. When it comes to this one, it did get sunburned. I'm so like bummed out. As soon as we moved to this house, the lighting in this house is completely different from my other house. And oh my goodness gracious, my plants, a lot of them have like burned leaves, and I'm like so sad when I see it, but I don't want to remove them because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if the plant doesn't want to get rid of the leaf because it's burned, why should I? So, and honestly, some imperfect plants are the most perfect ones to me. So just putting that out there. So this one has flowered a lot for me. And look at that. It's about to burst. It's so beautiful. If you look at the peduncle, you can see that it has had some, like, it has bloomed so much for me. Like, I feel like when it comes to Hoya Patricia, you know, she isn't like a, oh, look at that. Super root bound, like super root bound. I don't want to get it out of here. I'm gonna wait until like it finishes blooming and whatnot. What I have done in the past is, especially when it comes to the plants in leca, I do, when I rinse them, I remove the leca and place the, you know, the roots back up, and they find themselves down again. But I really do not want to like repot it. I don't. She just looks so beautiful. She's happy. This is the newest leaf. This is a brand new leaf too. They're very soft in comparison. But yeah, so this one does have a beautiful sweet scent, and it seems like the peduncle keeps, like the blooms keep growing towards like the grow light. And this one still remains in a grow light. It's just that all these windows are south facing windows, and I think my plants were pretty shocked when we first came here. And they're like, holy smokes, we actually have light, because they were surviving on grow light. So, but yeah. So what do you guys think? Such a statement piece. Looks so beautiful. I love the trellises. Like the round trellises, I love those more than, let's say, this one. Like this one, it's so wiggly. I kind of don't like it, but it's like, who wants to untangle that, you know? So, I don't know. Which one is your favorite trellis? To me, I don't know. I'm like in love with this one. When I first got this one, I thought it was incredible. But I feel like it would be better suited for like a philodendron that, you know, the growth pattern is up. Or even a Hoya that grows up instead of like being viney Hoya. But yeah. So I'm going to leave it up to here for now with this beautiful thing in frame. Which one was your favorite? If you honestly have had any of these bloom for you, please tag me on Instagram so that I can see your beauties and what I'm, you know, going to be expecting, especially on the new blooms in the plants. I do appreciate you, and I do want to thank you guys for watching, for sticking around, for being my planty friend and family. I love filming and just being a part of this wonderful community. you guys like make my day every time you guys post a comment, every time you guys just share your stories. I feel so connected, you know? And in the world that we're living in, we have to be connected. We have to have something that, you know, keeps us human. And so I do appreciate you. I do love you guys. Thank you for like your sweetness and your kindness, and for always like being amazing, like whether it's here, whether it's on Instagram. So love, hugs, kisses to all of you, and until next time, bye.